There's a place in Washington, D.C., on 14th Street Southwest, that most people walk past without a second thought. But inside those walls, something extraordinary happens every single day. This is the Bureau of Engraving and Printing, the bank of banks, if you will. It's the place where blank sheets of paper become the cash that fills wallets, fuels economies, and crosses every counter in America. And while the Bureau is where the magic of printing happens, the story of every dollar bill, whether it's a 1, a 5, a 10, a 20, a 50, or a 100, actually begins far away, in a quiet valley tucked into the Berkshire Mountains of western Massachusetts, in a town called Dalton. That's where Crane Currency has been making paper for the United States since 1879. Using a precise recipe of 75% cotton and 25% linen. That blend gives every denomination its strength and its unmistakable feel, a feel that has been trusted for over a century. But let's start at the Bureau, because that's where the blank canvas becomes art. When the sealed trucks from Crane arrive at the Bureau's loading dock, they're met by quality technicians in white lab coats. Every sheet is verified. Depending on the denomination, the sheet might hold 32 notes or 50 notes, but all of them share the same foundation. Each sheet carries the subtle watermark of the portrait that will eventually appear on that bill, whether it's George Washington on the 1, Abraham Lincoln on the 5, Alexander Hamilton on the 10, Andrew Jackson on the 20, Ulysses S. Grant on the 50, or Benjamin Franklin on the 100. The watermark is created right in the paper during manufacturing, formed by varying fiber density, so that when you hold any bill to the light, you see a ghostly image of the founding figure looking back at you. And scattered throughout every sheet are tiny red and blue security fibers, a traditional anti-counterfeiting feature that has appeared on American currency since the 19th century. This paper is legally prohibited from being possessed by anyone other than the Bureau. So its arrival marks the beginning of a tightly controlled, deeply precise process. Inside the design and engraving department, master engravers, men and women who have completed a 10-year apprenticeship, work on the steel dies that will print billions of dollars. Each denomination gets its own portrait, its own vignette on the back. Under a raking inspection lamp, the details reveal themselves. The fine lines of Washington's hair, the columns of the White House on the 20's reverse, the Lincoln Memorial on the 5. Every line varies in width and depth, creating the full tonal image that makes each bill unique. These engravings are the heart of the currency, and they're transferred to printing plates with painstaking precision. The production process itself is a marvel of engineering. It begins with offset printing, where massive presses apply the subtle background colors that give each denomination its distinctive look. The $1 bill keeps its classic green and black, but higher denominations use layers of color: peach, blue, yellow, that add complexity and make counterfeiting harder. Then comes the defining step, intaglio printing. This is what gives United States currency its unmistakable texture. Thick, viscous ink is spread over engraved steel plates. A doctor blade wipes the ink from the flat surfaces, leaving it only in the grooves. The cotton linen paper is pressed into those grooves under enormous pressure. As it's pulled away, the ink lifts out of the grooves and stands up on the paper as raised ridges. That's the texture you feel when you run your finger across a genuine bill. Whether it's a 1 or 100, the raised ink is the same. It's not just ink, it's topography, but the bills you carry today have layers of security that go far beyond texture. For denominations 5 and above, there's an embedded security thread that runs vertically through the paper. On a 5, the thread glows blue under ultraviolet light and reads USA 5. On a 20, it glows green and reads USA 20. On a 50, it glows yellow. And on the 100, it glows pink. The thread is woven into the paper during manufacturing, not printed on top, so it's physically part of the note. For higher denominations, you'll also find color-shifting ink. On a 10, the numeral in the lower right corner shifts from copper to green. On a 20, the eagle and the numeral shift. On the 50, the numeral shifts. And on the 100, the bell in the inkwell shifts. It's created by multi-layered metallic flakes that reflect light differently depending on your angle. An optical effect that counterfeiters cannot replicate. One of the most advanced overt features appears on the 100, but the principles apply across the board. The goal is always to stay ahead of counterfeiters. The Bureau constantly updates its security features, adding microprinting that appears as a thin line to the naked eye, but reads as clear text under magnification. On a 5, you'll find tiny 5 repeated on the border. On a 20, USA 20 is hidden in the background. Every denomination has its own microprinted elements, all designed to be impossible for a photocopier to reproduce. After the final layer of protective varnish is applied, every single note passes through the offline currency inspection system. This is essentially a supercomputer with cameras that scan each note at 2.5 sheets per second, dividing it into hundreds of thousands of pixels. It checks the watermark, the security thread, the intaglio depth, the microtext, and any color shifting or other advanced features. Any note that doesn't meet the rigorous standards is automatically rejected. Then the guillotine cutters descend, slicing stacks of sheets into individual bills for the very first time. Those bills are counted, bundled into bricks of 1,000 notes, each brick representing the total value of whatever denomination it holds, and sealed into tamper-evident packaging. From the Bureau, they're sent to the Federal Reserve, where they're stored in massive vaults before being dispatched to commercial banks across the country. An armored convoy carries them from Washington or Fort Worth to cash offices in cities like New York, where they're sorted, verified, and finally loaded into the cassettes that go into ATMs. When a teller slides a crisp new bill across the counter, whether it's a $1 bill that will change hands dozens of times in a day, or a 50 that someone will hold on to for years, it's easy to just see the money. But if you take a moment, tilt it, feel the raised ink, hold it to the light, you'll see something more. You'll see the watermark glowing in the paper, the security thread with its denomination clearly visible, the tiny red and blue fibers scattered across the surface.
All right, move the next pallet in.
In that single note, you're holding the combined expertise of engravers who spent a decade learning their craft, of technicians who measure fiber ratios to the decimal, of presses that apply tons of pressure with microscopic precision. It's a journey that begins with cotton and linen in a Massachusetts valley, passes through the most secure printing operation in the country, and ends in your hand,